Take a breath. Close your eyes if you wish. Let the world slow down. I want to tell you a story, not of heroes in golden armor, not of kings or queens or grand empires, but of something far quieter, something closer to the heart, a whisper inside you, a challenge older than any crown, the test of letting go, the test of risking everything on one single fragile moment. We live in a world of accumulation. We gather, we store, we cling, memories, possessions, victories too. Every little success feels like a stone in a great pile. We stack them, we polish them, we point at them and say, "Look, this is who I am." But one question lingers. If that pile could vanish, if all you have built could be swept away, would you still remain yourself? Would you still walk upright? Would you still dare to try again? That is the spirit of the line, the heartbeat of the challenge. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, it sounds like a gamble. It sounds like madness. But it is not about games of chance. It is about the courage to face loss, the bravery to embrace uncertainty, the willingness to be reborn. Let us walk slowly through this, word by word, image by image. Imagine your life as a mountain of coins. Every coin represents a moment. One coin for each time you tried and succeeded. One coin for each time you stood your ground. One coin for each smile you created in another. The heap grows, tall, heavy, shining in the sun. You love that heap. You guard it. You think it defines you. But here comes the turn of pitch and toss. Here comes the roll of destiny, the wheel that spins and asks, are you willing to place it all here? Not for certainty, not for safety, but for the chance of something greater. Most people step back. Most cling to their heap. Most protect their winnings like a dragon curled around its gold. But the poem dares you. It whispers, to live is not to guard. To live is to risk. To live is to stand naked before chance and still believe in yourself. Think of the river. It does not hoard its water, it flows, it gives. It risks everything to the sea. Think of the tree. It lets its leaves fall. Every autumn, every year, not knowing if spring will come, yet it trusts, and it blooms again. Why should you, a soul alive, do any less? Loss is not the enemy. Fear is. Clinging is. The refusal to risk is. Because risk is the gateway to growth. Risk is the soil where courage flowers. Risk is the proof that you believe in more than what you already hold. Now, pause. Think of a moment in your life when you were asked to risk. Maybe it was love. Maybe it was work. Maybe it was standing on a stage, trembling, and speaking your truth. Did you step forward? Or did you retreat to the safety of your winnings? No judgment here. We all retreat sometimes. We all clutch what we have. But every story worth remembering begins with someone who dared to place their heap on the table and whisper, let it be. I will risk it because I am more than my winnings. This is not about recklessness. It is not about throwing yourself into fire for no reason. It is about choosing. It is about knowing when the call of the unknown is stronger than the comfort of the known. And when that call comes, to ignore it is to wither. To follow it is to live. Listen carefully. When you risk, you may lose the heap. Yes, that is the truth. But what you gain cannot be measured in coins. What you gain is resilience. What you gain is freedom. What you gain is the power to say, even if the heap is gone, I remain. Even if I lose the game, I still breathe, I still walk, I still try again. That is the secret. The heap was never you. The winnings were never you. You were always the hand that placed them. You were always the heart that risked them. Consider the gambler at midnight. He places all he has on the table. The wheel spins. He watches, not with desperation, but with peace, because he knows the real bet is not the coin. The real bet is himself, and in that bet, he never loses. Let's move deeper. Risk is not only about money or chance. Risk is confession. Risk is vulnerability. Risk is telling someone, I love you, without knowing if they will echo it back. Risk is standing before strangers and singing the song inside you while your voice shakes and your knees tremble. Risk is writing your truth on paper, even if no one may read it, even if they mock it, because the act of writing itself is the turn of pitch and toss. And here is the paradox. When you risk everything, you are never truly empty, because the moment of risk fills you with something greater than winnings. It fills you with life. The mountain of coins shines in sunlight, but only for the one who dares to spend it. The treasure of victories glitters, but it means little unless you dare to lose it. The heap was never meant to stay untouched. It was meant to be wagered. It was meant to be lived. Let me tell you a secret. The child knows this. The child builds a tower of blocks and knocks it down, laughing. The child knows the joy of creation, but also the joy of destruction and the freedom of beginning again. We forget that as adults. We cling, we tremble, we protect our towers, afraid they might fall. But the falling is the point. The rebuilding is the point. The risking is the point. Now, let us return to the line. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, it is an invitation, not a command, an open hand, not a clenched fist. It asks you to imagine yourself standing on the edge of your own comfort, looking at all you have and asking, am I willing to let it go? Am I willing to trust myself enough to start again? This is where faith lives, not in certainty, not in security, but in the willingness to walk without guarantees. Faith is the fire that warms you when the heap is gone. Faith is the voice that whispers, you are enough. Even stripped of everything, you are enough. Consider history. Every great creator, every explorer, every lover who changed the world. They risked, the sailor who left the shore, not knowing if land lay ahead, the artist who painted, not knowing if the canvas would ever be seen, the rebel who spoke truth to power, not knowing if tomorrow would grant him breath. They placed their winnings on the table. They risked the heap, and in that risk, they became timeless. You are no different. Your heap may look smaller. It may look quieter, but to risk it is no less brave. To risk speaking your heart. To risk leaving a job that cages you. To risk forgiving someone who hurt you. To risk beginning again at any age. These are the turns of pitch and toss that shape the soul. Now listen, there is one more layer, perhaps the deepest. Risk teaches humility, because when you risk, you admit you do not control the outcome. You bow to the mystery. You surrender to the wheel. And in that surrender, you discover freedom. You are no longer chained to the heap. You are no longer defined by the winnings. You are defined by your courage, by your willingness to risk, by your ability to smile, even if the heap is gone tomorrow. So, what is the lesson? What is the whisper hidden in the line? It is this: do not mistake your heap for your soul. Do not mistake your winnings for your worth. Do not spend your days guarding what you have when life is waiting to be risked. The true treasure is not the pile of coins. The true treasure is the hand that dares to place them. The true treasure is you. Breathe. Feel the weight of this truth. You may lose everything. Yes, but you will never lose yourself. And that is why you can risk. That is why you can place it all on the turn. That is why you can whisper, let it be. Because no matter the outcome, you will rise, you will walk, you will try again, and again, and again. That is the meaning of living. That is the meaning of risk. That is the meaning of faith. So tonight, when you look at your heap, smile not with fear, but with gratitude and with courage. And when the turn of pitch and toss comes, as it always does, step forward, place it all down, and whisper, I am ready. For in that moment, whether you win or lose, you are alive, fully, deeply, beautifully alive.